In this week's Forex Forecast, we're going to be looking at all of the important supply and demand zones created by the large institutions and the banks in order to help you with your trading this week. Alright, starting things off with the US dollar, and I highly recommend you go back and watch last week's Forex Forecast so that you can see the accuracy of the direction of which I said the market would most likely be going past week. So the US dollar call report shows that the institutions added 1,400 longs and they also added 1,900 short positions, which leaves them still about 79% long on the US dollar. I've been talking about how we're going to be coming up to this area on the monthly/weekly supply zone up here. And stay tuned for the euro analysis. I will be going into more detail, basically referring to this monthly/weekly area of supply on the dollar as well. If you look over at a 4-hour chart, we've lost momentum here. We failed to make a new high. But at the end of the day, I do think that we will be going higher in the dollar. We already got that reaction off of this supply zone right here. So that's a nice sign that price is going to go higher. So stay tuned for the euro and we can go more over the dollar. Alright, so on to the euro weekly chart. If you look here, we are in weekly area of demand right here, and monthly area of demand is this whole area. So we are already in this demand, and we all know the euro is the opposite of the DXY. And if you look, we are not in that same area of supply, the inverse, right? We're not there yet. That's why I think US dollar could go a little bit higher so that we can actually hit this supply zone. So that also means I think the euro could actually test this monthly, weekly area of demand even deeper. So I think that we could go a little bit lower, maybe hovering around here while the DXY goes up and hits that monthly supply. And then I'll be looking for longs in here with my target. My ultimate target would be at 1.173, which I know is very high, but that would be like my ultimate swing/position trade that I would be looking for. Our target was hit on the euro. We talked about it in last week's Forex Forecast at 1.13. And we are going much lower. We broke multiple areas of demand that I said was most likely going to happen, and now we're going even lower. So it's a time in the market where I don't really want to be shorting the euro, considering we are in this weekly, monthly area of demand. It's a very strong area as well. I don't want to be shorting. I don't feel very comfortable. I did miss a few shorting opportunities on this pair, but that's okay. Now I'll be switching my bias to long. So what I'm going to be waiting for is this 4-hour trend to break momentum. It is a little aggressive to get in long on a 4-hour chart in a weekly downtrend like that, but at the same time I kind of want to hop in early on this pair. So I kind of want to start to see this trend line start to be removed, this supply to be removed. I'd like to see a reaction down and maybe make this like some sort of triple top, and then hopefully I'm actually going to be trading against the triple top. I know a lot of people don't agree with that, but at the end of the day, we're in some higher time frame areas of demand. I think price is going to be going much higher, so I'll be looking for longs basically on the 4-hour chart. If something like that happens, that's a pretty aggressive approach. The most safest approach would be to wait to see this daily supply at 1.433 be removed first before we actually see that, and this trend line. And you know, that could take a long time to play out, but ultimately this is what I'm waiting for in the euro. I would not be day trading this short right now. That is just my personal opinion based on how I see the markets. All right, on to gold, my favorite market. Past week, the institutions added 19,000 longs and they added 9,800 short positions. And the last week before that, they actually added 30,000 longs, and that is why I believe we've seen this very large move up in gold. Also last week, as you can see now, we talked about this weekly area of supply. I talked about it last week. We are contacting this supply and said that we could see a small move away like this. You know, we've seen the move so far. We've lost a little bit of momentum on the 1-hour chart like this. We have a 1-hour downtrend now right here on the 1-hour chart. So we've clearly seen a little bit of momentum loss here. If you're a Patreon member or a YouTube member and you got a short in right here, very nice. But if you come to a 4-hour chart, this 4-hour demand is still holding. So what I'm waiting for to see if that supply zone is going to break on the weekly chart on gold, I'm waiting for this whole 4-hour zone right here to break. It has not broken yet. We've tested it once, twice, now 3 times. So in my opinion, it's getting very, very weak with each touch. So at the end of the day, just waiting for this 4-hour demand zone to be broken to see if gold's going to go lower. If it holds, it could go much higher. And like I said, I do think it is going to break above this weekly zone, but it does not mean that we won't see a pullback down to about 1,800 first. And this is a nice weekly area of demand. I will certainly be looking for longs in gold at this weekly area of demand. All right, on to USD Japanese yen. The past week, the institutions got rid of 4,000 longs and they added 8,000 short positions. And that's how we have this daily uptrend just like this. We have a nice daily uptrend. We're approaching this trend line right here. We could see some volatility around this area. We could actually see a spike down to this demand zone and up like that. But keep in mind, looking at a weekly chart, I've been talking about this for the past few weeks. This is why I haven't really been interested in trading the Japanese yen. We're on a nice, weekly uptrend like this, but we're in weekly supply. That is a pretty strong supply zone that's been tested multiple times. It doesn't mean that we're going to hold. I actually think price is going to go up, but it doesn't mean I'm going to be buying the yen just yet. If you do want to hop in short, it's a little risky based on that trend, but my first target would be 113.39 right at this daily area of demand, and then my ultimate target to the short side would be 112 like it has been for the past couple weeks. To the long side, my target would be 115.5 right up here before this daily area of supply, and I believe that is a break of that weekly supply zone. So right now it's kind of a tricky chart to trade. We have that 4-hour shift in momentum to the downside where we made a new low right here. So now it looks like we could be going lower. If you come over to a 1-hour chart, we reacted very nicely off of this 1-hour supply zone that I had for my Patreon members midweek and YouTube members. And if you want to join that, links in the description. You should see a little thing pop up right now where you can click there. You get my zones for only $5 cap per month. It should definitely help you out with your trading. It'll save you time. You can use my zones. You can look for confirmation. Even if you don't trade supply and demand, you can at least look at my zones and know when larger institutional, higher time frame areas of demand are in play and when you maybe should not be trading. It could be very, very useful. Looking at the British pound, the past week, the institutions got rid of 3,500 longs and they added 15,945 short positions. And real quick, if you are liking this video, make sure you guys hit that like button. It'd be much appreciated, and I appreciate all of your support. Just hit 5,000 subscribers. It's unbelievable, so I really appreciate it. Hit that like button and let me know in the comments down below what pairs you guys are watching this week, and maybe we could have a little back and forth. Just let me know in the comments down below. Anyways, looking at a daily chart of the pound, if you're going to get in short here, we have a daily downtrend. If you are going to get in short, I would target 1.33. If you're going to get in long, I think a good target would be 1.358 right before this daily area of supply that we saw a reaction from in a couple of the previous weekly Forex Forecast videos. So we are in a daily downtrend. All of this analysis is going to depend on the DXY, so definitely keep an eye out for that to see the strength of the US dollar. Looking at a 4-hour chart, we are contacting a very high quality area of 4-hour demand. I don't think this demand is going to hold forever, though. I think we could see it turn back around like this. So I'm not really looking to get in short or trade this pair right now. It's kind of difficult based on there being some demand down below. Yes, we are in a daily downtrend, and I like to trade with the trend, but at the same time, this trend could be coming to an end, like the saying, the trend is your friend till the bend at the end. And we are. It looks like we have come at a little bit of a buyer's market right here on the 4-hour chart, but ultimately I do think we will push back lower. I currently have an alert set here down at the low to alert me that this 4-hour trend has continued. Then I might hop in on a lower time frame, like a 15-minute chart, and then ride price down to my target at 1.33. All right, on to the USDCAD. The past week, the banks got rid of 3,400 longs and they added 186 short positions. Last week I talked about this daily area of supply. I said I'm not really interested in shorting. If you did get in short, nice job. It looks like price never really got to reach to our target, but that's because of these 4-hour trends that we're seeing. We have a beautiful 4-hour uptrend. I'm personally going to be waiting for an alert to go off above this high right here. You're going to set it just like I did in last week's Forex Forecast. And when that goes off, I'll be alerted that that 4-hour trend has continued, and I'll be riding price up at least if I can get an order into at least 1.275. That would be my top side target based on these 4-hour trends, because I'm only basing trading decisions based on this 4-hour and 1-hour time frame. Therefore, I will be trading the 15-minute time frame for my entries, because this daily chart is very sideways. If you're going to enter on a 4-hour or a 1-hour chart, it kind of lines up more with the daily chart. But looking at all of this recent price action, where's price going to go? I don't know. Price could turn around on a dime. Anything could happen just looking at this chart. So that's why I'm on the lower time frames to trade with the trend. And clearly the momentum and the trend is up. So that's what I'm going to be doing, but I'm going to be entering on a 15-minute time frame. That's about it. And like I said, just waiting for that alert to go off. and my target to the upside would be 1.275. Longs, and they also added 4,600 short positions there, 75% short. Looking at the daily chart, we have this upward trend line right here being contacted, and as you can see, we are peaking right through it now. In my opinion, we might go lower in the Aussie dollar, and if you do get in short, I highly recommend probably taking profits around 0.718. If you're looking to get in long, my profit target would be 0.738 on the Aussie dollar. If you come over to the 4-hour chart, we are in a 4-hour downtrend, but we are contacting 4-hour area of supply. So any shorts on like a 5-minute or a 15-minute, I would definitely be cautious, because we could see a 4-hour reaction off of it just like that, and maybe a move to the downside. But you know what I'm going to wait for is for the zone to be tested deeply, and then maybe look for a 15-minute short, because we do also have a 1-hour downtrend as well, and it's all very, very clean. In my opinion, we're going much lower in the Aussie dollar. It's all a matter of getting a nice entry on a smaller time frame and ride price down to 0.718. USD Swiss franc. The past week, the banks got rid of 7,300 longs and they added 812 short positions. We have had seen some daily supply be removed here, which has created new daily demand. So this could be a decent little area if you're bullish the dollar to potentially look for a 1-hour confirmation in. Based on the higher time frames, like the monthly and the weekly, doesn't really make that much sense for this zone to work, but you could get a small little trade in here. My target to the long side would be 0.935 right up here like that. So that'd be my daily target. If you come to a 4-hour chart, we had that nice upward momentum, had a nice trend line, had a nice demand zone, and it broke. We created this new supply zone. So 4-hour momentum has been lost. To just hop in short right here, kind of risky move in my opinion. It could work out. You could get a small little day trade in this 4-hour supply zone, or it could blow right through to my target. That's why I'm not buying this pair just yet. A lot of these pairs are not really on my list to trade right now. I'm just being very patient because of the trends are different on a lot of the time frames. So you could look for 15-minute shorts in here, but I would take profit pretty quickly. But you never know. We could be retracing back up to here and push down, and then actually be retracing all the way down to this daily area of demand. That could be what could be happening in the market right now. I'll just have to wait and see. The big test will be this, like I said, this 4-hour area of supply right up here. It's either going to hold, or it's going to hold like this, or it's going to break. And a target to the upside would be 0.935. Target to the downside would be probably 0.92. Would be the safest bet right before this tested 4-hour area of demand. All right, last but not least, crude oil. The past week, the institutions got rid of 42,400 longs, and they got rid of 36,800 short positions. Our target to the downside was hit at 77.6, and now we are contacting this weekly area of demand. And I talked last week, I think, about how we could see price kind of maybe even break this weekly demand, go a little bit lower, maybe test this trend line. But I'll be looking for buying opportunities in oil based on this weekly uptrend and pulling back into weekly demand. There's really not much to see on the daily chart. So what I'm personally going to be doing is I'm going to be on this 4-hour chart. I'm going to be waiting for a momentum change. Right now we're in 4-hour demand, so we could see something like this and push price up higher. But ultimately, I want to wait for this trend line and this supply zone that has already been removed. This is a supply zone that I had for myself and YouTube members right here, and I want to see that removed first, because that has been proven to be an area where sellers and banks have sold before. So I want to see this trend line removed, this supply zone removed, and that will be my signal to get in long at this weekly area of demand. And I'll be riding targets to at least $88 a barrel, maybe even higher. It depends on how many I buy, and at the same time I want to maybe be scaling out of a position like this, because this is a great opportunity for longer time frame longs on crude oil. Hopefully you guys found this weekly Forex forecast helpful. If you did, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. Leave a like and check out the Patreon or YouTube membership if you need help finding your supply and demand zones. It's only $5 CAD per month. Hope to see you guys there, and hope to see you in the next video.